Hello everybody, today's the trade recap for January 16th, 2026. And today I took one trade on QQQ for around 109% win. So I'll talk about that. And today, right, was very, very slow in the market open, right? We saw that Tesla and these names were kind of pushing up, but no really strong price action, no entry on any of these names, right? Maybe unless you're very, very aggressive on like this reclaim, right, over right here on 835, but I like waiting until after the first 5 minutes to take a trade, right? So we had kind of Tesla, Nvidia hold this market structure over here, right? But eventually, because QQ Inspired is dropping, then this name ended up coming down itself. So what I see on Tesla, what I see on QQ, and what I see on SPY, right? So we know that QQ and SPY were very weak this morning. Why? Because we are struggling to break above pre-market high like 7 times. And then we also come back under it, right? Like after the first 10 minutes of market open has completed, right? We're under VWAP, we rejected a VWAP. Pre-market high multiple times, right? We are failing to make a new higher highs and higher lows. So we're at low of day on these names, right? So when we're at low of day on QQQ and SPY, and I'm trying to long tech, then I want to see some sort of strong price confirmation that we are showing relative strength on these names, right? Or else you'll just get in too early and you'll just get chopped out, right? Or you'll just have to cut the position because then you're gonna be wrong. So no really good entry, right? I was looking at Tesla, but price never really closed really strong above, right, in this order block or above this 446 level I was trying to see, right? We got faked out, right? Like we didn't have a candle closure right here. I was looking to enter over here, right? But we ended up coming down, and Tesla is now dumping even more, right? Because you can Inspire is absolutely getting railed. So, what was I looking at? So I first was not gonna take a trade, right? And I was let me actually see, right? So first, right, I was probably gonna call it a no trade day, right? Because we're just chopping around, very weak. QQ Inspire just dumping, right? While tech is just like pretty much just chopping, right? So but then I saw QQ, right, that we're seeing extreme weakness, right? We're seeing that we're very strong underneath this 90 MA, right? We break it below our 5 minute range high, kind of reclaim and then reject it back again, showing bearish price action. So I knew his name is weak. And then same with SPY, right? Very, very bearish. We bounce off low of day and then come back down aggressively. So I was bringing it back down at low of day. So I'm interested in playing this name, right? So why did I play QQ instead of SPY, right? I just simply looked at QQQ and saw that it was weaker, right? Like I'm not trying to play the name that is like I'm trying to play the name that's weaker, right? I'm trying to play a name that has cleaner price action that I see is cleaner, right? So QQ is cleaner to me, right? Because we kind of had clear rejections on pre-market high. So I was gonna play this name off breaking off this pre-market low, right? So what do we get? We get a nice in not this candle, right? I kind of waited to see some confirmation. So we saw that weak buyers came up on this pre-market high and rejected it. So as we're making this bearish candle closure down here, I enter puts, right? And got a pretty decent entry, right? So you see we enter right kind of at the middle of this candle because we didn't enter at the close, we enter kind of at the end of this forming. So you got a little bit of a better entry, right? But then second candle we dump, right? Because we want to see the reaction. So our stop loss would have been technically just above this 624 level plus pre-market low, right? Very simple stop loss, right? We know that if we come back up, then we're going to be kind of choppy. So momentum's going to slow down. So we can just exit the trade. And I was smaller size today, so it was a smaller win, of course. Wait, let me check. So it was a smaller win, right? Only $1,000, 1,016, right? But over 62% ROI. So that's the insane part, right? And I'll kind of explain what happened. And so if it was a normal size, right? Oh my god, it'd be so beautiful. But on Friday, guys, you have to be lower size. I guess this was like too low of a size on a Friday, but I kind of was kind of being aggressive under this pre-market low, right? Not really any good like not really a not really a I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say like it wasn't rather that really good setup. Like when you have weak price action under a key level and you're on the indices, you just have to be aggressive sometimes, right? Like or else you're just not gonna find an entry or a pullback. You have to be aggressive, and I knew that, and that's why I entered, right? But I'm saying like it wasn't like I'm saying like I didn't put enough size. I know because it just there wasn't enough confluences in my opinion. I don't know. I feel like on these aggressive trades on a Friday especially like I just subconsciously size less, right? So or else it would have been nice if I sized like 30, 40 cons just because like, this is a little bit cheaper of a contract I bought, right? So, but you know what, it is what it is, right? At least as long as I kept the 100% win rate for the month, right? So I can just milk it, then that's all that matters. But yeah, no, once this 100% win rate dies, then you know, then I can't milk it anymore. But yeah, absolutely insane month, right? And so let's get back into the video. So right, entered right on this candle, right? I'm pretty sure at the candle closure because it closed up here. So at the candle closure, near the candle, end of the candle closure, right? And I just wanted to see price just push below this pre-market low with strong aggression, right? We were kind of seeing us have momentum and like sellers have momentum down here, right? See how QQQ and SPY, and so I just want to see us have a strong push down. And so I my TP levels, right? So my first TP, right, would have been this 622.38. Why? Because it is these these hourly lows over here. Um, where is it? Oh, right here. The hourly lows right here, marked it right here. So that's perfect area for our TP right to be. And then second area right was gonna just be the 622 whole stack number, right? And then our next TP, right, because now we're dumping. Oh, what the hell? QQQ is dumping. We already touched our previous day lows. That would have been like the final TP, right? But I'm not gonna hold that deep. But what the hell is happening here? That is insane price action. I know so many people got railed right there. So some people tried inversing this. That's why you never try playing against the trend, right? Like that's why every time I see like every new week some new person's trying to play a trend and stuff, like bro, like play against the trend, like bro, like it's the easiest money is playing with the trend. Easiest money of your life. Like why do you want to like make your life harder? Like I know someone probably in like futures probably took this inverse of this fair value gap, right? And then like just got railed in one candle. So um, yeah, that is pretty much the recap, right? Did not alert this trade. Just was too fast, right? Right, you enter this trade, you instantly like just get you instantly get like a straight push down. I'm not trying to call out down here because if people enter then we reverse, then the risk reward is even more dog shit. Like imagine entering over here and then now like a good stop loss, like what's like a decent stop would still just be above pre-market. Now you have to like change it to like above this fair value gap or like you know like there's not a good like a good area of stop loss if you enter down here, right? The best area would be entering up here and having your risk to reward like a little bit wider, right? That's how you get those. That's how you make money in the long run, right? You have to have your risk to reward kind of wider and chase those bigger wins, right? Especially on options. So, um, this was a bigger win, right? 108%, I think 109% on options. So, um, yeah. So, do you guys have any questions? Comment down below, join Discord, and yeah, so how long is this 7 minute trade recap? I guess like this trade recap's pretty much done. I'm just gonna look at the market now for like a couple of minutes, just see what's happening right overall. So AMD is just chopping around, right, but still maintaining our higher time frame a little bit, right? We're chopping around in range of our previous day, but we're still kind of looking at the higher time frame. Nvidia, right? Not really doing too much, but still looking at the higher time frame because we did bounce off that 170 level and have a nice little move up, right? Over here. So we're still kind of consolidating. So we can see this name next week kind of push higher above this 190 level. So next week I'll be looking to long this name above 190, right? That'll for sure be on my watch list next week. Tesla. Mm, let's see what's Tesla. I don't remember. So Tesla doesn't look as good, right? Tesla, I'm looking to long this name right above. Mm, yeah, Tesla doesn't look that good higher time frame, but I guess if we get like a gap up next week, any of the days, then I'll look at it, take his name. But higher time frame right now, I don't see anything really good. This his name is actually just looks pretty bad. Um, and let's go to so Apple. I'm not we barely trade Apple, right? Apple just doesn't do shit like 90% of the time. Meta, I don't trade his name that much, but I sometimes do trade this name, and every time I do trade this name, I get pretty big returns, right? Because when Meta does have continuation, it's so beautiful, right? It like it respects levels so beautifully. Sometimes like it'll like perfectly like hold its like pre-market high or previous low, like it like. But you have to be able to identify when it's high, when it's a high probability and low probability, right? Look at the higher time frame. So, um, I mean, yeah, no, Meta just looks absolutely shit, right? Like where this is more of a name you want to buy in your portfolio and hold long term at these dips. So, um, so not really interested in playing that name. And let's see here. We're absolutely dumping. Um, yeah, we're just QQ is probably even lower now. Let's see. Yeah, I do expect us to kind of slow down here after we've taken out these lows at this previous day's low, and we do still have more space down on SPY down to these previous day lows because QQ was weaker, right? That's why I played the name. As I said, QQ was weaker, and we already hit our lows first on QQ. So SPY does have room down to these previous day lows as well. Um, but yeah, next week, right? Martin Luther King Day on Monday, so the day will be off, so no trades on that day. So longer 4 day weekend, and wow, some crazy. This is this wild price action, right? Just a move from up. I always just think of this. I don't know why I always think of this, right? Even like no matter how long I've been trading, I'll always imagine like if you buy puts up here, right? Maybe at this rejection at this hourly high level, right? You buy puts and you're just stupid enough to hold it or something. Like you buy puts for some reason, trying to top tick. Like this move down here to all the way down here is like a four, 500, 600% win. Like it's absolutely insane. It depends on the contracts you buy, but for sure more than 300%. But that's not how I trade, right? I trade looking for playing with a trend, and then I'm technically scalping like in the money slash close to at the money option, right? So my gains won't be as extravagant, right? A good gain on like an in the money contract, right, is gonna be like above 30%, above 20% is a good gain, right? Whereas getting 20% gain on an at the money contract on like QQQ is so fucking easy, right? Like you see I'm in other discords, right? And I'm like, I know like some other people, right, that are like I'm not gonna say anything, but their trading is sus. That's all I can say, right? Their trading is sus, right? And they'll like enter QQQ calls, QQQ puts, right? And then they'll be up like 20, 30, 40% after like 30 minutes. My mic is shaking because like I'm pushing my foot up and down, but like, just know the difference between in the money and out the money, weeklies and day and 0 days contracts, and know the difference between like the contract movements, right? We know that 0 day contracts on QQ Spy move so much quicker than weeklies on any other day besides Friday. So like that's a problem by beginners, is that they will think that the percentage slash gains, right? The money is means better trader, better trader, like better trader, but that is literally farthest from the truth. So yeah, that's a trader cap for today, right? Um, very very insane way to end the week. I was actually thinking I was just not gonna take a trade today, right? But literally in less than 2 minutes, I'm like, you know what? These QQQ puts like look pretty good, right? We're showing just as clearly bearish price action. Right? Under review up under 90 EMA, right? Showing us bearish market structure, right? Higher highs, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, right? And we even had like this crazy momentum down, right? And when you're playing puts on a name that's very very weak, you have to be a little more aggressive, right? Because the phrase is, right, stair step up, elevator down. That's very very accurate, right? When you have relative strength, even on relative strength names, you still kind of get stair step up, right? But on relative weakness, you get stair step down, right? And my biggest losses have been from stair step down, trying to anticipate a stair step up. So yeah, trust me, like I know firsthand very very well. And so yeah, so that's Trader Cap. Please like and subscribe and join Discord down below if you have any questions, and peace.